so cool and dandy like that. I've had a very exciting day. I've managed to have went to did blood test at the hospital. I did went to the stores. I went to buy shoes for Tara in like 15 places. I went got a haircut. I even went like, to the store where I bought my mouse. I was like, hey, the middle mouse scroll wheel doesn't work. He's like, oh, do you have the cord with you? It's like, no, I don't have the cord with me. All right, I go home. And then like when I come back, one of the monitors at the customer center is like missing. And he was like, yeah, so, while you were gone, somebody just came in and like stole the monitor. I was like, what? Like who just like goes in and it's like, this is my time to get a think vision, right? Like this is my time to get a think vision monitor, like a shitty monitor. I was like, what? And I was like, wow, he's swearing a lot, isn't he? I was like, well, he's allowed to. Somebody did steal stuff from him. Like, all right. Then I go there and like, hey, this mouse isn't working. I gotta send it to the to repair or something like that. Like he said, no, we're just gonna replace it for you. Here you go, a new one. I was like, yeah, so good. But Garling, Dreadhead, Toes, Draxos, Tahaku, Killjail, Andrew, Hoki, Dulafars. Hope everyone's doing well. It's the face. Very obsolete. Yeah, so then I was like, I should probably check like the sponsorships for this week. And it was like, you should just, you have to make this content within like, after 7 Pacific time, which is like 9 in the evening, my time. And then I was like, oh, how long do I have to like make it then? I was like, I just checked it now, it's like 11 hours. I was like, oh, I'm not gonna wake up in like 7 in the morning, start streaming. I'll just stream it now. And just pray for the goddamn best. Honestly, not the best planned stuff, but hey, extra night stream on Marshmallows. How you doing? Have you on when I get home, right? Right? Always this. Take the free stream. So we'll be doing this for like around 2 hours more. Took a bottle of carbonated water, put it in the fridge so it got extra cold, and then just squeezed half a lime into it. Very good. Oh yeah, Taiko, I didn't think about that. That's gonna be bad for a lot of people. Well, it is life though. But let's get into the game. Let's see what it is. This is... So, I said I wasn't going to do more like... Any more game that is like... AI power, but this one seems really cool actually. So I was like, you know what? I'll give this a go. Because this is like an old-timey mud game. Where you talk to the game, which seems really cool. Actually, it looks like it's going to be a cool game. So, we'll check it out. Odin's Trials. So this is Omea. Where there's just a lot of different things that can happen. Wake on stream, right? So wake. But anyway, click that link that is pinned. Check it out. Check it out. Anything else here? Check it out. How's everybody doing though? You guys had a good day today? Some pets here. Stroke. Lego, hope you're doing well. Evenings, yes. I'm playing a lot of like old games with the Mad Max game. Oh yeah, that wasn't cool. Storm took your ship. You wake alone on a frozen shore. Find a way off before the cold or something worse claims you. Survival, horror, Viking, sandbox. Nice. Okay, so either I'm a Viking raider, washed shore half dead after ship broke on the rocks alone on a frozen island. He aches for home and he can no longer picture something dark over his circles. Viking shield maiden washed shore half dead. Which one should we take? The dude maybe? Loud. Let's do it like this. That better? On the ship, we'll actually check it out. But apparently it's like an old-timey mud almost. So I was actually like... I usually turn these things down, but like now I was really intrigued by this one because this is like narrative RPG, because I always said I bet they do not enjoy me talking about this and making a lot of like attention to this, but I've said like the only thing that it's gonna be really good for is like enhancing graphics like DLSS, and for narrative stuff that actually talks to people. Put blue, probably because it's so cold. Check it out. Still tune it down. Still tune it down. Like this. Is it good now? Now it seems like it usually is. Can we do it even lower? Even lower? This is probably fine. We'll go first. Probably this dude. The storm took everything. Your ship, shield brothers, most of your memory. You woke up half dead on a strange shore, ringed by wreckage in the dead. You know only two things. You are a raider, and you have home worth returning to. Everything else, names, faces, shapes of your hull, slips through your fingers like meltwater. Ahead lies an island of frozen pores and jagged cliffs, the promise of long, cold death. Something watched from the shadows. Survive this. Remember who you are and find your way home. Alright. Average mentally, physically strong, socially weak. It's just socially weak. You good there, buddy? What's that to you, huh? It's blue, okay? There we go then. Yeah, narratively, during the narrative is after dark. Yes, you shoot. How you doing, dude? Okay, this is good then. I don't think all of it is AI, no. It is AI narratively driven. So I'm not really sure what else is.
Finally. I am Hugin.
The art style doesn't look...
Yours specifically. The only part of your mind Odin left you. Your memory waits across this island. Don't know. My brother Munin. Reach the frozen passage before the blood moon peaks. Or remain nothing. One problem. Fenrir's child guards the passage. Tonight it hunts the whole island. Can you outrun a god's wolf?
Welcome. Jag far aldrig. Kind of funny. Crow sounds are naturally funny though. That's why a lot of Edgar Allan Poe's poems are comedy gold.
Not from weakness, but from the cold that gnaws at your marrow. Every movement sends a fresh shock through waterlogged wool and stiff leather.
The Drakkar lies broken against the rocks, its dragon head snapped off,
Staring blindly at the sky. Bodies bob in the shallows, or lie sprawled on the black stone shield brothers who didn't wake up. To the north, the land rises into high cliffs. South, the shore curves toward a beach. East, a dark forest presses close, its trees thin and gnarled.
Look at Crow, you can train that.
The sun hangs pale and low. It is noon, but offers no warmth.
Look around. The sea took your ship, but it left gifts. If you're quick enough to claim them before the tide does.
Check to see if the corpses have eyes. You wade through the freezing.
through the freezing shallows to the nearest body. It's a man you knew. The shape of his jaw is familiar, but his name is gone. His eyes are wide open, fixed on the gray sky, clouded with the white film of death.
You check another, then another. Every single one stares sightlessly, their last moment frozen in terror or shock. The sea spared no one here.
Okay, we're gonna add up the voice maybe.
They're gone. No thoughts left in those heads, just meat for the crabs. Do you see anything worth keeping? The dead have no need of steel or silver.
We want this one more, right? That's
cold
probably better.
water seeps into your boots, numbing your toes. Further up the shore,
That's good,
beyond
right?
the tide line, a trail of dark red leads up the rocks to a shape that looks less like a sleeping man and more like...
No, I was gonna see if I could eat their eyes. A reaction. Eat their eyes.
Your fingers are stiff, clumsy as frozen fish, but they work.
You pry open the first eyelid. The eye is soft, yielding, colder than the seawater. You tear it free. The socket gapes empty, a dark well staring back. You put it in your mouth.
It bursts against your tongue brine, jelly, the taste of death. You swallow before your body can reject it. Then the next, and the next. The hunger in your belly is a sharp hook, and this dulls the edge, just a little.
By the gods, thoughtless one. You eat the dead. I knew you were broken, but this... Perhaps the wolf will find you less appetizing now. You taste of madness.
Your stomach churns, a violent roil of salt and wrongness.
But it settles. You wipe your mouth on a sodden sleeve, leaving a red smear across the wool. The cold still bites, but the gnawing emptiness is quieter. The ravens watch, silent.
Status malicious. Type your next action. Make his go inland, make a fire, gather wood and make a fire. Think about those delicious eyes. This is Red After Dark.
You scramble up the rocks, away from the dead-eyed shore. The wind cuts through your wet wool, but the memory of those eyes, it sits warm in your belly, a secret heat. Driftwood litters the high-tide, line-splintered planks from the Drakkar, branches torn from some distant coast. You gather an armful, fingers clumsy with cold. You find a sheltered niche among the black rocks and pile the wood. Your flint and steel are in your pouch, but the wood is damp, the air heavy with sea spray. You strike. Sparks fly, dying instantly in the wet timber. You strike again. Your hands shake. The cold is patient. It waits for you to fail.
You ate the eyes of the dead, and now you expect fire to obey you. Perhaps you should ask the corpses for advice. They seem to have plenty to say to you.
Roll the dice. Ignite the damp driftwood before the cold takes you. Add success. Accept. A spark catches in a pocket of dry resin inside a splintered plank. A wisp of grey smoke curls up. Then a tongue of orange flame.
Catches in a pocket of dry resin inside a splintered plank.
A wisp of gray smoke curls up. Then a tongue of orange flame licks the damp wood. You blow gently, feeding it your breath, and the fire takes hold. It crackles and hisses, eating away the wet bark. But soon the heat pushes back against the cold wind. You huddle close, feeling the numbness retreat from your fingertips.
The shivering in your bones slowing to a tremble. The taste of salt and brine still lingers on your tongue. A ghost of the feast you made.
Fire. Good. You won't freeze before the wolf tears your throat out. Though I wonder, do you still hunger? The eyes are gone, but the island is full of meat. Some of it might even fight back.
It's like, you know what? You seem to be into a diet of ice right now. Maybe there's other ice out there. You have the arms, fingers, and roast them over the fire. I do donger.
You return to the dead. The knife slips between tendon and bone, wet and resistant. One by one, you sever the fingers stiff, cold, pale as fish belly. You collect them, a handful of grisly trophies, and carry them back to the fire. You sharpen a green stick and skewer the meat. The flames lick at the flesh, turning it gray, then brown. The smell is unmistakable pork, but sweeter, cloying. The skin blisters and pops, fat dripping into the fire with a hiss.
You roast the hands of your shield brothers. I have seen warriors eat horse dung to survive. But this... Tell me, Chosen, when you look at your own hands, do you see tools or meat?
You gnaw on a knuckle, the gristle tough and stringy between your teeth. The firelight dances on the other bodies scattered down the shoreline. 10, 12, maybe more. You do the math in your head. A cold, sharp calculation. 2 hands per man. 10 fingers. That's a lot of meat. Enough to last days if the cold doesn't spoil it first. The hunger isn't just in your belly anymore. It's behind your eyes, looking at your shield brothers and seeing a larder.
You're counting them, like cattle. I am thought, chosen, and even I cannot fathom this depth. What happens when the fingers run out? Do you start on your own feet?
There's a hunger behind your eyes now. Oop, minor spell mistake.
You thrust your feet closer to the crackling flames, the heat biting into your frozen toes. The numbness fades, replaced by a sharp, stinging rush of blood, painful, but alive. The blue tint drains from your skin, leaving it pink and raw. Your boots steam in the firelight, the leather sodden and heavy. You flex your toes, feeling the tendons creak and protest as they wake.
The color returns. That is something. Though I suspect the smell of roasted flesh will cling to you longer than the cold. You smell like a funeral pyre that got hungry.
The fire pops, sending a shower of sparks upward into the gray sky. Around you, the wreckage of the Drakkar and the bodies of your shield brothers lie scattered, waiting. The path north leads up toward high cliffs. South, the shore curves toward a beach. East, the dark forest looms.
Make the corpses towards the fire and make a peace wall to reflect the fire, the heat, so you can sleep by your eyeless and fingerless brothers one last time.
You grab the corpses by their sodden tunics and drag them,
I
one by
even
one,
eagle.
across the black rocks.
I should have
They are
said
heavy,
that instead.
dead weight, waterlogged and stiff. The wet stone scrapes and thuds as you haul them into a semicircle around your
with the
fire,
corpses.
stacking them like cordwood. Eyeless faces stare at the flames. Fingerless hands rest on the cold ground. The wind hits the wall of dead flesh and splits, flowing around your grim shelter. The heat reflects back, trapped by the bodies of your shield brothers.
A fortress of the dead. You sleep in the embrace of those you ate. Tell me, chosen, do their ghosts whisper to you in the warmth?
You lie down on the leeward side of the fire, your back against a cold, stiff shoulder. The heat soaks into your bones. The smell of roasted meat and salt water fills your nose. Exhaustion drags you down, heavy and dark. You close your eyes.
Yes.
You wait
Cheers,
for the
Chris.
start.
Welcome to
The
the
fires
channel.
burn low.
Hope
glowing
this
embers
is an
of red
excellent
ash.
like.
The sun has moved, shadows stretching long and thin across the rocks. The wind is colder, sharper. It is afternoon.
I'll try not to
bodies
play with the
surrounding you are
corpses too
pale and
much.
Still in the gray light.
I'll make no promises though. Hope feedback on the demo has been good the first couple of hours. And you guys who's in here now, go and check it out. Exclamation mark Omea. Or it's also pinned in the chat, so go click it, check it out. On one eye that you missed earlier. Save it for later. Take the toes from the corpses, roast them over the fire so you can have snacks for the road.
You move among your shield brothers again, knife in hand. The toes are easier to sever than fingers' smaller joints, less resistance. You work quickly.
I like that it remembers that.
Cold flesh and tendon. 10 toes from one, 10 from another. You pile them near the embers, skewering the
I like that none of
smallest
them
on
were missing
green
one.
sticks. The larger ones laid directly
As
on the hot
coops.
stones.
Well, it's
The
just
fire
how it
hisses
is
as the fat
sometimes.
renders out.
Late night
The smell
stream,
sharp
and that's just how it
savory,
gets.
masking the salt of the sea.
Welcome to the channel, there's Sam Scoops.
Snacks. You call them snacks? When you cross to the afterlife and the Valkyries ask what manner of man you were, what will you tell them? That you walked well-fed on the flesh of your oath brothers.
Add a roasted toast to inventory. Very nice. To be hungry later. Mothership, how you doing? Yeah. Yep. I've already slept. Very nauseous. Is it because we ate raw ice?
You curl up against the wall of corpses, the heat of the fire pressing against your face. The smell of roasted meat is thick in your nose, a savory blanket that pulls you down into darkness. Sleep comes fast, heavy and dreamless at first. Then the images start.
AI D&D free.
Fingers, eyes.
I don't know what that means, but it's an AI narrative game. I don't know how much else AI they use for the rest of us.
Watch you, their empty sockets smiling. You reach for another handful, and the fingers grab you back, pulling you into the dark.
Even your dreams are hungry. Perhaps when you die, the worms will dream of you.
You wake with a gasp. The fire reduced to glowing embers. The shadows are longer. The light thinner. The afternoon is wearing on. The sun dipping lower toward the horizon. The bodies around you are cold and still.
They were supposed to reflect
Your
the heat.
roasted fingers and toes lie where you left them, cooling in the air. The wind has picked up, cutting through the shelter of dead flesh, reminding you that the fire will not last forever.
Roasted fingers still lie there. Gather up all the roasted fingers and toes into your... Oh no, wait. Take one shirt off of the corpses and make a bundle so you can bring the fried delicious fingers and toes with you. You Toon Hamler. This, how you doing? Bad miracles. FG.
You kneel beside the nearest corpse, a man whose face you might have known once. His tunic is stiff with brine, but the wool is thick. You pull it over his head, the body flopping heavily as you work the fabric free. The shirt smells of the sea and old sweat.
You lay it out on the cold rocks and pile the roasted fingers and toes into the center dozens of them, brown and glistening with rendered fat. You tie the sleeves around the bundle, knotting the wet wool tight. A portable larder made from the dead.
A sack of meat. You carry your shame with you now. Careful you don't mistake your own fingers for a
Stupid
snack
crow
when the
is
hunger
bringing
takes
me
you
down.
again.
You sling the bundle over your shoulder. It is warm against your back. A terrible comfort. The fire is dying behind you, embers fading in the growing gloom. The afternoon sun hangs low, casting long shadows across the black rocks. The path north climbs toward high cliffs. South,
Maybe I
the
should have
shore
checked
curves
these if I
toward what
needed to
might
dry
be a
my
beach.
clothes.
East, the dark forest waits, its trees like spear points against the sky.
God, I'm raven of judgments. Check my gear. Am I dry now? Do I have boots? I'm on the first screen now. I'm just gonna stick around here by the mountains of the dead, eating them constantly.
You pat yourself down, checking your gear. The wool tunic and trousers are no longer dripping, but they feel heavy and cold against your skin damp, not dry. The fire helped, but the sea has a way of holding on. Your boots are there, laced tight. The leather is steaming slightly on the outside where the heat touched it, but inside, your socks are still wet, squelching things. Your hand axe hangs at your belt, secure. The sealskin pouch is there too, and the bundle of roasted fingers and toes, warm and terrible against your back.
Damp. Better than dead, I suppose. Though walking in wet boots is a good way to lose toes.
Do you think we can
You seem
like
so fond of them.
skin them to make human skin?
The afternoon light is fading, the sun dipping lower. The wind bites harder now. The path north leads up toward high cliffs. South, the shore curves toward a beach. East, the dark forest waits.
Skin one of the corpses. Make a cloak. You against if this is gonna work. Green Lord, how you doing?
You select a corpse, a man broad of shoulder, and lay him flat on the cold stones. Your knife is sharp, but the flesh is stiff, frozen hard by the wind and the sea. You start at the ankle, the blade biting into the calf. It is hard work. The skin tears instead of peeling, the fat white and waxy beneath. You have to brace your foot against his chest to pull, the body jerking under your weight. The smell is foul.
One
Blood and
spoopy
bowels
sub for
released by the
UNRF
knife
Gobo,
wound.
NRF Gobo, NRF Gobo.
You work your way up the leg, across the stomach, the skin separating with wet, sucking
Oh,
sounds. The cold numbs your fingers, making them clumsy.
describing it quite
and
a
the
lot.
wind whips the loose flaps of skin against your face.
A cloak of men. You truly are one of Odin's madmen now. Does it keep you warmer, knowing you wear your brother's death?
Yes, it does.
You reach the chest. The skin thinner here, more fragile. One wrong slip and you ruin it. The sun dipped lower, the shadows stretching out like fingers across the rocks. You are halfway done, the skin hanging loose and bloody when your knife slips on a rib, gouging deep into the meat beneath.
Okay, not ruining the hide. Let's go. Massive success. Stupid crow being judgmental of my human skin cloak. Toe snacks.
The knife catches on the rib, but instead of tearing through, it slides cleanly along the bone, guided by a sudden, bloody intuition. You work faster, the hide peeling away in one long, wet sheet, stripping the man like a seal. The skin comes free whole.
a heavy, gory trophy still steaming in the freezing air. You scrape the fat from the flesh side with your axe blade, the white shavings curling onto the dark rocks. It is gruesome
Change
work,
the stream. I
but the
don't know how
result
much
is
more this we will have, but at least we're going
raw
around with our
hide,
human skin
heavy
cloak.
enough to turn the wind.
Human skin cloak.
You drape the skin over your shoulders, the raw side facing out. The furless, pale leather against your neck. It smells of copper and salt, but the heat is immediate. The wind dies against your back. The cold trapped in the damp wool of your tunic, beginning to warm against your skin.
The AI voice
You are
like,
no longer
no,
just
I
a
can't
survivor.
take it anymore.
You are a walking abomination, clad in the dead.
Magnificent. A wolf in sheep's clothing, or a man in his brother's.
Take it
The wind
anymore.
won't find you now, Chosen. But will the dead let you keep it?
The sun is touching the horizon now, painting the sky in bruised purples and deep reds. The light is failing fast. To the north, the path to the high cliffs is steep but clear. South, the beach offers flat ground and driftwood. East, the forest is a wall of
Just
black
happened
shadow.
organically and I You can see if we have any more weapons among then I'm just gonna stalk the countryside now. Laying traps for travelers.
You turn back to the wreckage and the dead, the human skin cloak flapping heavily against your legs. The tide has receded further, exposing more of the Drakar's shattered ribs. You pick through the splintered
Getting
timber
nowhere.
and tangles of rope, kicking aside seaweed and shattered planks.
The debris field is a graveyard of useful things, half buried in sand
Oh,
and
yeah.
stone.
Near a body half submerged in the foam, you spot the hilt of a knife.
His hands.
You pull it from the corpse's Beltacy
What do we
axe,
have with the
short
hoods?
and single-edged, the leather grip still sound. Further
You
up
were
the
trying to
shore,
make a hat?
tangled in a coil of sodden rope, you
The
find a
mask.
pouch of heavy leather. Inside, a flint and steel striker, dry and ready. Another corpse, bloated and pale, wears a heavy arm ring of twisted silver, bright against the gray skin. You pry it loose. The metal is cold, but it holds the warmth of the
What's
sun.
going on here?
Nearby, a pile of wet furs lies
I was the only
discarded,
survivor of this
sodden
crashed
and heavy
Drakkar
with
ship.
salt water.
Why I ate their eyes
Steel and silver.
straight away,
The dead will
then
well
made a
off
fire to
for all the good
roast
it
their
did them.
fingers and toes?
Perhaps you'll fare better. Or perhaps the wolf just likes his meat seasoned with treasure.
And then we made a human skin cloak? Now I don't know if I want to make a human skin mask. Maybe we go too far.
You scan the line of corpses, your eyes critical, measuring the slack faces against some memory of beauty you cannot quite grasp. Most are bloated, distorted by the sea, or torn by the rocks. Then you find him younger than the others, his jawline still sharp under the pallor of death, his nose straight, unbroken by the wreck. He is handsome, in the way a carving is handsome before the wood rots. You kneel beside him, the human skin cloak settling heavily around you. The sea axe feels small in your hand for this work. You press the blade into the soft flesh of his temple, just below the hairline. The skin is cold, rubbery, resisting the steel. You have to saw, the knife grating against the skull bone beneath. The smell rises, sharp and metallic. overpowering the salt air. Blood wells up, dark and sluggish, spilling over your fingers and onto the dead man's tunic.
You seek to wear his face, to hide your own. The dead do not give up their likeness lightly, Chosen. The skin remembers.
You work the blade around the chin, up the other cheek,
It's so
trying to keep
graphic.
the cut even. The flesh tears at the corner of the mouth, a jagged rip that threatens to ruin the mask. You steady your hand, breathing through the nausea that rises in your throat. The wind howls, sounding almost like a voice calling your name, but you ignore it, focused entirely on the separation of skin from bone.
Roll the dice. Can I have a human skin mask as well? I managed. It's been a couple of messy. It's a little bone
The
iglo.
final cut separates the skin from the neck with a wet snap. You lift the face, a pale, floppy mask dripping with dark blood. The eyes empty holes staring back at you. You turn it inside out, scraping away the clinging fat and meat until it is
Almost
thin
been on this
and
beach for an
translucent.
hour.
The work is done.
You lift the mask to your own face, the cold, wet skin settling over your cheeks and nose. You tie the thongs behind your head, pulling them tight.
The dead man's face presses against yours, his slack lips merging with your mouth, his empty sockets aligning with your eyes. You breathe, and the leather skin of the mask sucks in and out with a wet, whispering sound.
You wear him now. A handsome death. Can you see through his eyes? Or has he blinded you to what you've become?
The wind howls across the fjord, but you feel nothing but the warmth of your own breath trapped against the dead skin. The sun is a bloody smear on the horizon, the light fading fast.
The world looks different through the empty sockets of the mask, narrower, darker. The path north leads up into the gathering shadows of the high cliffs. South, the beach is a gray stretch of sand. East, the forest looms like a wall of black spears.
Face mask.
You turn to the raven, the dead man's face pulling tight across your cheeks as you speak. The words feel muffled inside the mask, but you hear the conviction in your own voice. You are a king of corpses now, clad in skin.
Was he
and
like
silver.
this?
The
Yeah.
wind howls, but it cannot
Human
touch
face
you.
mask. That's something we put in.
Handsome. You wear a dead man's face like a hat and call it beauty. As for power, you have the strength of a butcher and the wit of a starving wolf. Does the silver arm ring make you a Jarl? Or just a well-dressed corpse?
The raven shifts on his perch, his obsidian eyes reflecting the dying light. The sun has nearly vanished below the horizon, leaving only a bruised purple glow. The cold is settling in,
So
a
far,
heavy weight on
not
your
laughed
shoulders
this one,
despite the cloak.
The
not
light is
laughed
almost
as
gone,
much
Chosen.
for what we do in a
Wolf does
game in
not
a
care
long
how
time.
handsome you are. He only cares how you taste.
which also says something about me because literally, I just made, you know, a heat wall out of corpses and now wearing a dead man's face.
You turn in a slow circle, the dead man's face limiting your peripheral vision.
See
Scanning
so
the
well
horizon
because
for
the
the
human
smoke of a
skin
hearth
mask.
or the thatch of a roof. There is nothing. The island is a raw wound of rock and ice. To the north, the land rises into jagged high cliffs, barren and wind-scoured. To the south, the shore curves into a long, empty beach, littered with driftwood and debris. To the east, a dense wall of spruce and birch forest presses against the rocks,
Good.
dark and uninviting. No fields, no livestock, no lights in the windows. Only the cry of gulls and the endless wash of the waves.
A farm? On this rock?
Maybe.
You left your wits in the wreck along with your memory. There are no farmers here, Chosen. Only wolves and the dead.
The sun has dipped below the horizon now, leaving only a faint purple bruise in the sky. The cold is deepening, the wind cutting through the seams of your gruesome cloak. You must move or freeze.
What do you guys think? Prowl the shoreline or stalk towards the north? Dig deep into the ground or make an igloo out of the corpse. No. Make a raft out of the corpses. It's afternoon
The
now.
wind cuts through the damp wool of your tunic, but you have a plan. You drag the corpses together, stacking them like firewood near the sheltered niche of rocks.
The bodies are stiff, frozen into awkward shapes, but you use the wreckage of the Drakkar to brace them, splintered planks, shattered oars, coils of rope.
It is a gruesome architecture. You weave the wet furs through the gaps, sealing the walls with the sodden wool. The structure is low, a hovel of the dead, but it blocks the wind. You crawl inside, the smell of blood and salt heavy in the air, and kneel in the darkness.
A hall of corpses. You build a tomb and call it shelter. The gods are not listening, Chosen. They are laughing.
You ignore the raven. You raise your hands, the dead man's face mask pulling tight against your cheeks, and pray to the All-Father, to Thor for strength, to Tyr for courage. Your voice echoes strangely off the walls of dead flesh.
When the prayer is done, you reach into your bundle and pull out the roasted toes.
They are cold now, but the grease is still thick on your skin. You eat them one by one, cracking the small bones between your teeth, savoring the salty marrow. It is a feast of horrors in the dark.
You eat your fill and sleep in the belly of the beast. Perhaps when you wake, you will have grown a tail.
Ranik, how you doing? I don't want my gift anymore. Beast? What's that in the glossary? You hear before you see the howl frees the blood and stops the hearts. Alright, so it's a werewolf. Well, at least we had Not even nauseous. No, I'm just happy. Happy and full on roasted toast. So, okay. Do we, whatchamacallit, slaughter our brethren more to carry meat with us? Or do we just start stalking the land? We'll stalk the land, see where it takes us. Yeah, the Raven said they were metaphorical. It's just apparently we're crazy. See you, Raven. We still have a bunch of fingers anyway that we can snack on as well. Imagine you're like how horrible it is. Literally like the same hour you just crash landed, you just made a cloak and a face mask out of your dead brothers, taking all their fingers and toes.
Flapping silently in the wind. The path climbs steeply, rocky and uneven, leading you up from the shore to the high cliffs.
And become. Oh, I should have seen if I had magic to become a necromancer.
The exposed skin around your mask. You crest the ridge and stand at the edge of the world. Below you, the ocean churns against black stone. Waves smashing
That's horrifying,
into the
with the face mask and cloak.
To the east, the forest spreads out like a dark bruise on the land. To the south, the low fjords and beach recede into the distance. The sun hangs low, casting a golden light that turns the gray rock into ember, but it brings no warmth.
High ground. Good for seeing, bad for hiding. You look for food here? Only the birds eat on the edge of the world.
You scan the rocks for geese or berries, but the high fjords are barren.
Geese or berries. Nice.
Stone.
You remembered.
And dry grass. No geese land here, only the hardier gulls and crows that wheel on the updrafts. You find a few gull feathers and some dry nesting material tucked into a crevice, but nothing to eat. The ground is treacherous underfoot, loose gravel and hidden fissures waiting to snap an ankle or send you tumbling into the sea. Just as you turn to leave, a voice cuts through the wind, sharp and desperate, echoing up from the cliff face below you.
By Freya's blade! Is anyone up there? Speak, or I swear I'll climb up and kill you myself!
Giant man with another man's
The voice is
face.
female, strong but strained. Peering over the edge, you see a narrow ledge about 20 feet down. A woman is trapped there, her back against the rock face, looking up. She wears the salt-crusted remnants of a warrior's tunic, a hand axe at her belt. She looks like she's been there since the wreck.
A survivor, or bait. The wolf likes to leave scraps for later.
Wave at her. Try to smile from behind the human face mask. She will be impressed with a regal human skin cloak. Ask if she's eaten. You still have some roasted fingers if she wants them.
You step to the very edge of the cliff, the wind whipping the human skin cloak around your legs. Below you, the shield maiden looks up.
So long it
her
goes to
eyes
the
narrowing
legs.
against the glare of the setting sun. You raise a hand in a slow, deliberate wave. The dead man's face mask pulls tight across your cheeks as you attempt to smile, stretching the pale, eyeless skin into a grotesque grin. You gesture grandly to the cloak, displaying the raw, flayed hide with pride.
What in Freya's name is that? A demon? Stay back! I have an axe!
She scrambles backward on the narrow ledge, her boots slipping.
We can say this, ask if she wants the
pressing herself
fingers.
flat against the rock face, as if trying to melt into it. Her hand goes to the axe at her belt, but her hand shakes. You reach into your bundle and pull out a few roasted fingers, holding them out over the drop like an offering to a god.
Is that... flesh? You're mad. You're one of them, aren't you? One of the monsters!
A generous host, offering her the fingers of your brothers. She seems ungrateful, chosen. Perhaps she prefers her meat raw.
The woman stares at the roasted digits in her hand, then up at the mask you wear, her face pale with horror. The golden light catches the silver arm ring on your wrist, glinting dully amidst the gore. She looks ready to jump into the sea rather than accept your gift.
Ask if her name is Inga. The gods told me it was. Ask if she's too good for the fingers. Their grace was the toes. But you're sadly all out of toes.
The wind catches your words, carrying them down to the ledge. The dead man's face mask stretches as you speak, the empty sockets staring down at her. You hold the roasted fingers out over the drop, the grease glistening in the golden light.
The gods told me your name is Inga. Are you too good for the fingers? They're great. But you're sadly all out of toes.
No, I'm gonna.
Stay back! Don't come any closer! I don't know what you are, but I'm not eating that!
She presses herself harder against the rock face, her axe raised in a trembling guard, her eyes dark between the mask and the meat in your hand, wide with disbelief and revulsion. The name seems to mean nothing to her in her terror, or perhaps she refuses to acknowledge it from a thing wearing a dead man's face.
A courting gift. How romantic. She seems shy, chosen. Perhaps she prefers the toes.
Ask if she's all alone. Or if she knows where to find more toes.
The wind whips the human skin cloak around your legs as you lean further over the edge, the dead man's face mask staring blankly down at the trapped woman. Your voice muffled slightly by the leather skin, you ask if she is alone, and if she knows where to find more toes.
Do you know he's...
Alone? Of course I'm alone! The sea took everyone else! And I don't know about toes! I don't want to know about toes! Just get away from me!
She's not very helpful, is she? Perhaps you should ask her about ears instead.
Inga presses herself flat against the cliff face, her knuckles white as she grips her axe. She looks small against the vast gray rock, trapped 20 feet below you. The golden light is fading fast, casting long shadows across her ledge.
Why are you wearing that? Who are you? If you're not going to help, then leave me to die in peace.
The ledge she stands on is narrow, barely wide enough for her feet. Below her, the ocean crashes against the rocks, 100 feet of certain death. Above, the path you took is steep, but climbable if you had a rope, or if you were willing to risk the fall.
As if she would help you if you help her. We need more toes. That'll be a later problem for us to solve.
The wind howls across the clifftop, carrying your words down to the ledge. Inga stares up at you, her face a mask of confusion and revulsion.
The dead man's face.
I mean, this is one of the most cursed things we've ever done.
The empty sockets fixed on her. The offer of help in exchange for toes hangs in the freezing air like a curse.
Toes? You want toes? I don't want your help if it means that. Just leave me alone.
A hard bargain. She values her feet more than her life.
Not her feet.
Strange
Not a
priority
pervert.
for a warrior.
Inga turns her back to you, pressing her face against the cold rock, her shoulders shaking. The ledge is barely a foothold, and the waves crash far below. The sun is dipped below the horizon now, leaving only a faint purple bruise in the sky. The light is dying fast. You have the rope from the wreckage tucked in your bundle, or you could attempt the climb without it. A dangerous gamble on the slick rock.
Yell at her that it's not her toes I want. He's being silly. Then tie the rope somewhere safe and throw the other end down to her so she can climb up. Who is saved, and we will both go and find more toes. Toes aren't that. Then tell her that she shouldn't be that judgy about toes. It's unbecoming.
You cup your hands around the dead man's mouth mask and bellow down the cliff, your voice cracking with indignation. You tell Inga she is being silly, that you have no interest in her toes, and that she should stop judging a man's hunger.
Silly? You're wearing a face and eating fingers. Stay back.
Ignoring her, you scan the cliff top for an anchor. A jagged spine of black rock juts from the earth, solid as a tooth in the earth's jaw. You loop the salvage rope around it, testing the knot with a sharp tug. The hemp creaks but holds. You heave the coil over the edge, the rope unspooling like a snake into the darkening air. The rope end thuds softly onto the narrow ledge beside Inga. She flinches, staring at it as if it were a venomous snake, then looks up at you with wide, distrustful eyes.
At a certain point I can get it, but also I'm kind of hurt.
Why? Never mind. Just hold it.
She grabs the rope, her axe tucked into her belt, and begins to climb. Her boots scrape against the rock, sending small showers of pebbles cascading into the ocean below. You lean back, using your weight as a counterweight. The rope pulls taut, biting into your shoulders, but the anchor holds.
A debt paid in rope. She'll owe you for this. Perhaps she'll offer you a hand. Or a foot.
Doesn't need to be her own.
Inga crests the ledge, gasping for air, and rolls onto the flat ground at your feet. She scrambles up, axe in hand, putting distance between you and herself. She looks at your face mask, then at the bundle of roasted fingers, and shudders.
I'm Inga, Shield Maiden to Jarl Thorfinn, and you are wearing a dead man. Don't think I've forgotten the fingers.
The last of the golden light fades from the sky, leaving the cliffs in shadow. The wind picks up, colder now, carrying the scent of snow and distant salt. You have gained a companion, though she looks at you as if you might be the next monster she needs to fight.
Show that you are friendly. Yeah. Very friendly. And dance a little dance and mumble. That's what people like.
You plant your feet wide on the rocky ground and bellow at the sky, the dead man's face mask stretching tight over your own. I am very friendly. The shout echoes off the cliff face, startling a flock of gulls into the darkening air.
Then you begin to dance a jerky, hopping shuffle, waving your arms and mumbling nonsense words under your breath. The human skin cloak flaps around you like a second skin gone mad.
By the gods! You're mad! Stay back or I'll split your skull!
Inga retreats, her axe raised, her eyes wide with genuine terror. She looks at the dancing masked figure before her and sees nothing human in it, only a creature wearing a stolen face, gibbering in the twilight. She grips her axe so hard her knuckles turn white.
Magnificent. Truly. She'll be telling her grandchildren about this, if she lives long enough. Perhaps you should offer her a toe to calm her nerves.
We're out of toast, Raven.
The last light bleeds from the sky, leaving the cliffs in deep shadow. The wind cuts through your damp clothing, but the dance keeps your blood moving for now. Inga stands ready to strike, her fear sharp and dangerous.
Then act as if nothing happened. Ignore it. Ask her in the most eloquent voice you can muster. Can we get going, milady? It's getting dark soon and we need to find shelter.
You stop mid-hop, the human skin cloak settling around your ankles. With a deliberate motion, you smooth the dead man's face mask and straighten your spine, adopting the posture of a jarl at feast. The gibberish dies in your throat, replaced by the rolling cadence of a courtier.
Should we get going, milady? 'Tis getting dark soon and we need to find shelter.
Milady, you're mad, but you're right about the dark. The cold kills as fast as the beast.
Inga lowers her axe slightly, though she keeps her grip tight. She glances at the darkening sky,
where the last purple bruise of twilight is fading into deep gray. The wind bites harder, whistling through the cliffs.
Speech 100.
A fine performance. The rags of a raider playing the noble. She sees the actor, not the role.
The path south leads down to the low fjords and the beach, where the wreckage might offer cover. To the east, the dark forest looms a wall of black spruce against the night. Neither offers welcome, but standing here on the exposed clifftop is death by morning.
What do you think we should do? I have a... the southern fire there that can keep us warm and safe all the night. It's like, I don't know how to respond to this.
The path down from the cliffs is steep and treacherous, loose shale sliding under your boots. Inga follows at a distance, her axe loose in her hand, eyes darting between you and the darkening forest. As you descend, the low fjords open up below.
She's not even gonna comment on the corpse.
Gray water, and the splintered bones of your Drakkar. Bodies litter the shore like broken driftwood. Pale faces turn to the last light of day. The wind here is constant, cutting through the damp wool of your tunic, but the human skin cloak keeps the worst of it from your back.
What do you think we should do? I have a corpse igloo to the south, and a fire there that can keep us warm and safe for the night.
A corpse igloo? You built a shelter out of the dead? By Freya, you're touched in the head, but fire is fire, and I'm freezing.
She warms to the idea. Literally. Nothing bonds shield brothers like a nice roast next to the family.
You lead her toward the wreckage where you built your macabre shelter. The structure sits on the high tide line, a ring of frozen corpses stacked like firewood. The hollow center filled with the glowing embers of your earlier fire.
Raymond is actually...
The smell of
that's a
roasted
good
meat
joke.
still lingers in the air, faint but unmistakable. Inga stops dead, staring at the eyeless faces that form the walls of your shelter, her grip tightening on her axe until her knuckles turn white.
You sleep in there? With them? I'd rather freeze.
A discerning guest. Perhaps she prefers the beach. The crabs are less judgmental.
The sun has fully vanished now, leaving the sky a deep, bruising purple. The temperature is dropping fast, the cold gnawing at any exposed skin. To the south, the beach offers only open sand and wind. To the east, the forest is a wall of darkness. The fire in your corpse igloo still burns, offering warmth that Inga clearly needs, even if she refuses to step inside.
Well, I mean, like, I feel like the right thing to do right now, kind of knock her out, just have her warm in the corpse igloo. But also, I feel like that would be very ungentleman behavior, right? Like, if it was if it was a man, I would do that. But I feel like a gentleman wouldn't knock somebody else to, like, it's not the Stone Age anymore. It's the, you know, Iron Age. And we should act like it. Straighten up again. Use your best courtly manners and try to convince her to get into the corpse igloo so she doesn't freeze to death. It's not much, but it's good. Brotherly shelter. True madness is to freeze to death like a common goose. There we go. Lie. Tell her there's a basement that doesn't have corpse lighting walls.
You smooth the human skin cloak with a flourish, adopting the posture of a Jarl addressing his hall. The dead man's face mask stares impassively at Inga as you gesture toward the ring of corpses with an open, welcoming hand.
Milady, I beg you, reconsider. 'Tis not much, 'tis true, but 'tis good brotherly shelter. They keep the wind out, and the fire keeps the death at bay. True madness, I say, is to freeze to death like a common goose when a hall stands open.
Brotherly shelter? They're corpses! Eyeless, fingerless corpses! You expect me to sleep in a pile of meat?
She lacks vision. Or perhaps she just lacks appetite.
We did eat the
Inga
ice
wraps
as
her
well.
arms around herself, shivering violently as the wind cuts through her thin wool tunic. She glances at the dark forest, then at the freezing ocean, and finally at the glowing embers inside the macabre ring of bodies.
Damn.
The cold is an enemy she can feel biting her skin, but the horror of your shelter is a blade at her throat.
I'm freezing, but if I smell roasted meat in there, I'm leaving. And if you touch me with those fingers, I'll cut your hand off.
Take out one of the fingers and poke her. He touched me with this. Great success. It's on his shoulder.
Inga's shoulders slump, the fight draining out of her as the wind cuts through her wool tunic like a knife. She stares at the
Persuasion
ring of
and
corpses,
abysmal.
her face twisted in revulsion. But the glowing embers inside pull her like a
You
moth to a
sleep.
flame.
Freya, forgive me. I'm going in. But if one of those things touches me, I swear by the All-Father I'll burn this whole pile to ash.
She steps over the frozen legs of your shelter wall and crouches near the fire, extending her hands to the warmth. The human skin cloak rustles as you follow her inside, the dead man's face mask staring blankly at the back of her head. The smell of roasted meat is stronger here, trapped by the corpse walls, and Inga gags slightly, covering her nose with her sleeve.
A cozy gathering. The dead provide the walls, the living provide the conversation, and you provide the snacks.
The fire crackles, casting flickering shadows against the pale, eyeless faces that form your shelter. Inga keeps her axe across her knees, her back pressed against the frozen chest of a corpse, watching you with wary eyes. The wind howls outside, muffled now by the macabre insulation of your brother's norms.
Insulation.
Milady, who are you really? You talk like a skald and act like a draugr. And that face, where did you get it?
God is probably the most handsome man in the land. So I could be the most handsome man in the lands, and possibly the most powerful one as well. Vincer. God.
The firelight dances across the dead man's face mask, making the empty eye socket seem to flicker with life. You lean forward, your voice earnest and reasonable, explaining
Earnest and reasonable?
of your acquisition.
I got it from the most handsome man in the land, so I could be the most handsome man in the lands, and possibly the most powerful one as well.
Handsome, powerful, you ran a dead
Actually,
man's
dude.
face and eating fingers. That's not power. That's madness.
A sound philosophy. Steal the face, steal the glory. Though I suspect the original owner might disagree about the transfer of power.
Inga pulls her knees tighter to her chest, watching you with a mixture of pity and revulsion. She glances at the ring of corpses surrounding you, then back at the fire, as if checking that it is still real.
Look, we need to survive the night. If you're truly powerful, then prove it. Keep the fire burning. Don't let the cold in. And keep that mask facing away from me.
Convince her that the human face mask does what the human face mask wants, but we will keep the fire going. For we are, if anything, a gentleman. What are you doing?
You adjust the human face mask, tilting the dead man's chin upward in a gesture of haughty independence. The firelight flickers across the stitched edges of the skin, casting long, dancing shadows against the ring of corpses
Just the
that
human
walls you
face
in.
mask.
The mask does what the mask wants, milady, but we shall keep the fire going, for we are, if anything, a gentleman.
A gentleman who eats his own crew and wears their faces. The Skalds will sing of you, all right. They'll sing of the monster in the fjords.
A gentleman of refined tastes. She should be honored. Most men offer only mead and boasting.
Inga shakes her head, pulling her wool tunic tighter around herself. She stares into the fire, watching the embers glow and fade, as if trying to find warmth in the light alone. The wind howls outside the corpse wall, a mournful sound that makes the stacked bodies seem to shudder.
Just keep it burning. If I wake up and that mask is hovering over me, I'm swinging first and asking questions later.
You made me, I just wanna, he was hovering over you, just to ask stuff like,
The cold presses against the barrier of dead flesh,
You wake?
seeking a way in. The night
First thing
will
you
be
see, like,
long,
you
and the
wake?
fire will need
You
feeding
wake?
if you both intend to see the dawn.
yes. Go out, find enough firewood to keep the fire going. Return when you have enough. Flourish your cloak in a great showcase of your gentlemanship. See if there's any food around as well, since she's obviously too good for the toasted fingers we have. Scared of fortune for. Make a mask too.
You push aside the frozen leg of a corpse and step out of the shelter. The
Little
wind hits
door.
you like a shield bash, stealing the warmth from your face instantly. The night is black now, the sky a heavy lid of cloud, but the firelight behind you casts a long shadow across the rocks. You scour the shoreline, your boots crunching on frost-covered stones. The wreckage of the Drakkar lies scattered like broken bones. You gather driftwood splintered planks, a broken oar, tarry chunks of the hull, and pile them into your arms. The wood is damp and smells of the sea. Near the water's edge, where the waves suck at the stones, you find a cluster of crabs trapped in a tide pool. They are frozen solid, their claws locked in permanent gestures of defiance. You scoop them up hard, crunchy morsels of protein, and add them to your bundle.
Laden with wooden crabs, you trudge back to the corpse igloo. Inga looks up as you approach.
Suck at the stones. It's a saying, you know.
Drop the wood with a flourish and spin around, letting the human skin cloak billow out behind you like a cape of conquest.
Behold, milady, the fruits of the night. Wood for the fire and crunchy surprises for the morrow.
You look like a madman dancing at a slaughterhouse. But wood is wood. Throw it on.
A dashing figure. The crabs are a nice touch, very decorative. Do they scream when you crack them open, or is it just a soft crunch?
You feed the fire, the damp wood hissing and smoking before catching. The flames grow, pushing back the dark and the cold. Inga moves closer to the blaze, eyeing the frozen crabs with suspicion, but saying nothing. The wind howls outside, but for now, the fire holds.
I can't read it. I'm just gonna let the AI do it.
You glance down at your feet. Leather boots, salt-stained and still damp, encase both feet. They lace tight to the calf, sturdy enough for the rocky shore. No need to borrow from the dead today.
It's so funny. He's like,
Secured, milady. Now about your face. It is fine. But have you considered an upgrade? I could make you the second most handsome woman in the land. Possibly the second most powerful as well.
Second, keep your knife away from my face. If you come at me with that blade, I'll bury it in your throat.
If you do not want one, that is your loss. I am also good at making cloaks. Very stylish.
I saw your cloak. It's leaking. Just sit down and tend the fire. And stop looking at me like I'm a cow you're sizing up for the slaughter.
A hard customer. She has no eye for fashion. Or perhaps she simply prefers her face where it is.
Also, why do none of the corpses have
Edea
eyes?
shifts closer to the flames, pulling her knees to her chest. The firelight casts long shadows against the ring of corpses behind her. The wind howls outside, a lonely sound that seems to search for cracks in your macabre walls.
Okay, once again, I wasn't going to do anything to your face. I was obviously going to make you a mask out of the second most handsome corpse in the igloo. Once again, I'm not going to hurt you. I do quack. What don't you? What about this is so hard to understand.
You gesture toward the ring of corpses that walls your shelter, pointing out a particularly square-jawed Viking frozen in the stack. You explain, with exaggerated patience, that your offer was born of generosity, not malice. You intended to craft her a mask from the second most handsome man in the igloo, not her own face.
You throw your hands up, the human skin cloak flapping wetly, and demand to know why your peaceful intentions are so difficult to grasp.
Look, once again, I wasn't going to do anything to your face. I was obviously going to make you a mask out of the second most handsome corpse in the igloo walls. Once again, I'm not going to hurt you. What about this is so hard to understand?
You think that helps? You're still talking about wearing people. I don't care how handsome the corpse is. I'm not wearing a dead man's face. And I'm not letting you near me with that knife.
A tragic misunderstanding. You offer art. She sees butchery. Perhaps she lacks the vision to appreciate your craftsmanship.
Inga pulls her knees tighter to her chest, turning her shoulder to you as if to block out the sight of your mask. The firelight flickers over the eyeless faces surrounding you both, casting long, distorted shadows that seem to writhe in the dark.
Just stop talking about it, please. Keep the fire burning. If we survive the night, maybe I'll listen to your madness. But right now, I just want warmth.
The wind howls outside.
He's so
the corpse
judgy.
wall.
What's the matter with
A
her?
lonely, hungry sound. The fire crackles, eating through the driftwood you gather. The night stretches out ahead,
We're still at the
cold
starting
and dark.
page. See if there is enough wood to feed the fire for the night. If there is, go to sleep. But first, tell her that she shouldn't try anything just because she's alone in the corpse with the most handsome man in the lands. What's even happening? Developers are like, he's not even made it out of the starting beach yet.
You sort through the driftwood piled near the fire. It is damp and salt-crusted, but there is enough of it broken planks from the Drakkar and branches torn from some distant coast. If you feed it carefully, it will last until morning.
There is wood enough. Now, a warning for you, milady. You are alone in this corpse igloo with the most handsome man in the lands. Try nothing.
Try nothing? You're wearing a dead man's face and we're sleeping in a pile of your crew. If anyone should be worried,
Goes again
it's
with the
me.
judgmental
Just sleep,
attitude.
handsome, and keep the fire between us.
A truce forged in madness. Sleep well, Butcher. Don't let the dead bite back.
You settle onto the cold ground, pulling the wet furs tight around your shoulders. The human skin cloak is heavy and smells of salt and copper. Inga curls up on the opposite side of the fire, her back to you, her hand axe resting across her knees.
The firelight dances over the eyeless faces of the corpses that form your walls, their frozen expressions seeming to watch in the flickering dark. The wind howls outside, a lonely sound that searches for cracks in your macabre shelter.
You close your eyes. The heat of the fire warms your face, but your back remains cold. Exhaustion drags you down into the dark. Time passes. The fire crackles and pops. When you open your eyes, the flames have died to low, glowing embers. The air is biting, and the gray light of dusk has deepened into the true dark of night. The wind has dropped, leaving an eerie silence.
Feed the fire more wood. It needs to be warm. I don't know. I guess I am awake, yeah, Dan. Don't let this die out. Oh, right. I don't know. This feels like a.
You rouse yourself from the edge of sleep, the cold gnawing at your bones. The embers have faded to a dull red glow, barely pushing back the dark. You grab a piece of driftwood, the wood rough and salt-crusted against your palms, and feed it to the dying fire. The wood catches slowly at first, then flares up with a hungry crackle. Orange light surges, casting long, dancing shadows against the ring of corpses that walls your shelter.
The eyeless faces seem to lean in,
illuminated by the sudden brightness.
Is it morning?
Inga shifts on the other side of the fire, blinking against the sudden flare of light. She clutches her hand axe tighter, her eyes darting around the macabre shelter before settling on you.
No, milady. Just feeding the beast. It gets hungry in the dark.
A beast of fire and wood. Much safer than the one outside. For now.
Nice. Above the shelter walls, the sky is deep to velvety black. The moon is rising, a pale silver disk that offers little warmth. The wind has died down to a whisper, but the cold remains patient and waiting. Go back to sleep. After you've fed the fire enough, so it won't die out. Tell Inga happily Nighty. Tidy. And mumble incoherently as you drift away to sleep again. There we go.
You toss another thick plank onto the fire, watching the sparks spiral up toward the gap in the corpse roof. The flames hiss and settle, casting a warm orange glow over the dead men's faces that surround you.
Nighty-tighty, m'lady.
Just sleep, madman!
You burrow into the wet furs, pulling the human skin cloak tight around your shoulders. Your lips move silently, mumbling about toes and handsome faces as sleep drags you down. The fire crackles like a living thing. You dream of a feast where the guests have no eyes and the meat is sweet and tender. Time passes in the dark. When you wake, the fire has burned low again, reduced to a bed of red coals that barely breathe. The air is biting, sharp enough to make your lungs ache.
Above the shelter walls, the moon has risen higher, a pale, watchful eye in the black sky. Inga is curled up on her side, her breathing slow and deep, her hand axe is clutching her side. Put more. Feed the fire more. Don't let it die. You would not likely
You
to
toss a thick
sustain the
plank of
corpse
driftwood
fascination
onto the
with
embers.
corpse crafting skill.
The wood hisses, then flares with a hungry crackle,
Corpse sauna.
casting long,
It's a
dancing
corpse
shadows
igloo,
against the ring
if
of
I may.
corpses that walls your shelter.
The eyeless faces seem to lean in, illuminated by the sudden brightness. The wind howls outside, a lonely sound that searches for cracks in your macabre walls.
Is it morning?
Inga shifts on the other side of the fire, blinking against the sudden flare
Once
of light.
again.
She clutches her hand axe tighter, her eyes darting around the shelter before settling on you. Above the gap in the corpse roof, the moon has risen higher, a pale, watchful eye in a black sky. The cold remains patient, biting at any exposed skin.
No, m'lady, just feeding a beast. It gets hungry in the dark.
A beast of fire and wood. Much safer than the one outside. For now.
Beyond the shelter, the low fjords stretch out under the moonlight. Black waves crash against the rocky shore below, and the broken skeleton of the Drakkar lies where the sea threw it. To the south, the path leads down toward the beach.
We already talked about this. Feed the fire as much as it needs until morning and go back to sleep. Tell Inga. Nighty. Tighty. Future. Wifey. Then just casually say. Oops. Never mind. Then mumble yourself to sleep again.
You pile the driftwood high, feeding the fire until it roars like a living thing, pushing back the dark and the cold. The flames lick at the human skin cloak, drying the blood until it cracks and flakes.
Nighty-tighty, future wifey. Oops, never mind.
What? Don't call me that! Don't ever call me that!
Inga pulls her furs tighter, turning her back to you with a huff. You mumble about handsome faces and tasty toes as sleep drags you down again. The fire crackles and pops, consuming the wood. Time passes in the dark. The wind howls outside the corpse walls, a lonely sound that fades as the night wears on. When you wake, the fire is dead, reduced to a pile of gray ash and white embers. The air is biting, sharp enough to make your lungs ache. Above the gap in the corpse roof, the sky has lightened to a pale, bruised gray. The blood moon has set, a fading memory behind the western cliffs.
Inga is already awake, crouched by the dead fire, her breath steaming in the cold air. She looks at you, her expression hard and guarded.
You're still alive. A shame, perhaps. The fire is dead. We need to move.
A romantic awakening. She seems unimpressed by your proposal. Perhaps she prefers a man with his own face.
What? I took a more handsome face. Is that not what everyone wants?
The black waves crash against the rocky shore below, and the broken skeleton of the Drakkar lies
I mean,
where the
women
sea
will just
flowed.
braid their hair to be
To the
more
south, the path
pretty,
leads down
and I
toward the
stole
beach.
someone's face.
To the east, a steep, dark path climbs into the forest. North, the terrain rises toward the high fjords.
Rebaki, yes. We need to move. Why do we move in the red moon? Ask if she wants to start the fire again, and we can roast the crabs, since she doesn't want to eat the fingers.
Inga stares at you, her lip curling. The future wifey comment hangs in the cold air like a bad smell.
Don't push your luck! And I'm not eating your fingers, but I am hungry.
You kneel by the gray ash and strike your flint against the steel. Sparks shower the dry wood shavings you scrape from the damp planks. A curl of smoke rises, then a flame catches, hungry and bright. You feed it, building the heat until the cold retreats from the shelter. You pull the frozen crabs from your pouch and arrange them on the flat stones near the fire. The ice melts from their shells, steaming in the warmth. The smell of roasting
Actually,
seafood
Mary, dude, I was
fills the
wondering that
small
as well.
space, overpowering the copper tang of the corpses.
Crabs, milady. No fingers involved. A delicacy for the most handsome woman in the land.
It smells like food. Real food. You're strange, but you can make a fire.
What if you could just like copy paste from Wikipedia, like
takes
how
a
to
crab with
build
its mouth,
electricity?
cracking the
Just
shell with
make
her axe handle.
a little
She eats
steampunk
quickly,
corpse
her
town.
eyes never leaving you. The warmth and food settle the tension in her shoulders.
The lady
Her
want to
hand
go up
stays
on the
close to her
corpse
weapon.
bike.
A peace offering. She eats, you don't eat her. A successful courtship by your standards.
The fire burns steady. Outside the walls of corpses, the gray light of morning strengthens over the fjords. The path south to the beach is visible, and the dark forest waits to the east.
It's roasted crabs. It's fingers rope human face mask. Should we sleep more, milady, or into the dark forest, mayhap? Human skin cloak.
Sleep? The fire is dead, and the cold is already biting at my toes. We move. Staying here means freezing. The forest, it looks dark, but the beach is open, and the wind might be less cruel there.
The dark forest. How original. A fine place to hide, or a fine place to be eaten. The choice is yours.
Inga stands, stretching her stiff limbs. She kicks the gray ashes of the fire, scattering them over the frozen ground. The human face mask you wear stares blankly at her, and she looks away, grimacing.
Well? Which way? Handsome? The trees or the shore?
She called us handsome. She's starting to see why we took this face. Hmm? There we go. We shall venture into dark woods. It's only sensible after all. Then flourish your human skin cloak and stride off towards and into the dark woods smugly.
You sweep the heavy human skin cloak back with a flourish. The dead man's face mask staring blankly at the gray dawn.
With a smug stride, you turn your back on the shore and the corpse igloo, marching east toward the tree line.
Corpse igloo.
Inga follows, her axe loose in her hand, casting nervous glances at the shadows stretching between the rocks.
Only sensible, milady. The woods offer privacy and shade.
Privacy for what? Your madness? Just keep moving.
I didn't say
I don't like
that.
how quiet it is.
The woods. A classic choice for those who wish to be eaten in private. Or perhaps you seek a tailor for your lovely cloak.
The path climbs steeply, the ground shifting from loose stones to tangled roots. The spruce and birch trees close in around you, their branches interlocking overhead to block out the pale light.
The air grows colder, smelling of pine needles and damp earth. A low growl rumbles in the distance, vibrating through the soles of your boots. It is not the wind.
You hear that? Something's following us.
The hunt awakes. Can you run, Butcher, or will you become just another part of the forest?
The trees seem to press closer, their shadows lengthening like claws. The growl comes again, closer this time, hungry and impatient. You are exposed on a steep path, far from the shelter of the shore.
Outrun? I only need to run faster than Inga. Stab her in the leg and then run. Massive success. It's nice that the madman in the human skin cloak is really fast as well. That bodes well for no one. Beats tempo.
You bolt up the steep path, your boots digging into the loose earth.
Prefer the term corpse igloo.
Inga is right behind you, her breath coming in sharp gasps. The growl swells behind you, a sound of earth and hunger.
but your legs are driven by a terror that outpaces it. You crash through the tree line, the spruce and birch closing around you like a cage. The heavy human skin cloak snags on branches, tearing, but you do not stop. You run until your lungs burn, and the cold air tastes like iron. The growl fades, lost in the distance, replaced by the oppressive silence of the deep woods.
I wonder where needle of
Slow
thread
to a halt,
to mend this
leaning
human skin
against the
cloak.
rough bark of an ancient spruce. The forest here is dense, a maze of shadow and twisted wood. The light of the blood moon filters through the canopy in rust-red patches, casting strange, elongated shapes on the snow-covered ground. The air is colder here, still and smelling of pine resin and decay. Inga doubles over beside you, clutching her side, her axe dangling from her hand.
We lost it. For now. This place feels wrong. Like the trees are watching.
A lovely spot for a picnic, if you enjoy being watched by things that don't blink. But you run well, Butcher, like a rabbit fleeing a wolf.
The path you came from is barely visible behind you, swallowed by the dark. Ahead, the forest deepens, the shadows growing thicker under the rust-red glow. To your left, a faint trail winds through the undergrowth, marked by what looks like large, unnatural tracks in the snow. To your right, the trees are denser, almost impenetrable. The silence is heavy, broken only by the drip of melting snow and the distant, lonely call of a raven.
Asking about the cloak, if the cloak is still glorious. You got snagged on some branch and you're worried about it.
You stop and turn, holding the heavy cloak open to inspect it. The human skin is torn at the hem where a branch snagged it, a jagged rip exposing the rough stitching underneath. The dead man's face mask hangs slightly askew, one of the leather ties stretching loose.
Does it still look glorious, milady? It got snagged on some branches, and I am worried about it.
Milady.
It looks like what it is. A dead man's skin, torn and bloody. You worry about the cloak when something is hunting us in the dark?
A tragic flaw in your masterpiece. Perhaps the forest simply has no taste for high fashion.
Inga shifts her weight. Her axe
I like that the Raven at least stopped judging us so much.
The deepening shadows between the trees, her breath steaming in the cold air. The rust-red light of the blood moon filters through the canopy, painting the snow in unnatural hues. The silence is heavy, broken only by the drip of melting snow.
Which way? That trail? The tracks look wrong. Too big. Or we push through the dense brush?
Follow the tracks. I have become incredibly powerful with my new face and cloak. We shall see what was possible. Pray these tracks might lead us to? Ask her if she would like us to whistle a jaunty tune to brighten the mood. What was I doing?
You stride forward along the faint trail, the heavy human skin cloak swaying with each step.
The tracks in the snow are massive, larger than any wolf, with deep clawed gouges that tear through the frozen crust.
They lead deeper into the gloom, under branches that seem to reach down like skeletal fingers.
Follow the tracks, milady. I have become incredibly powerful with my new face and cloak. We shall see what possible prey these tracks might lead us to. Would you like us to whistle a jaunty tune to brighten the mood?
Jaunty? In this place? Keep your mouth shut unless you want to invite whatever made those tracks to dinner.
A tune. Yes. Whistle while you walk into the beast's maw. It will appreciate the appetizer.
The rust-red light of the blood moon filters through the dense canopy, casting long, bloody shadows across the snow. The air grows colder, smelling of pine resin, and something else copper, and old meat. The tracks wind around a massive spruce, its bark scarred with deep claw marks. Beyond the tree, the forest opens slightly into a clearing. In the center lies a half-eaten corpse. It was a wolf once, but now it is a ribcage and scattered fur, picked clean with terrifying efficiency.
By Freya? What could do that to a wolf?
Inga grips her axe tighter, her knuckles white. She scans the tree line, her breath coming in short, sharp bursts. The silence is absolute, as if the forest itself is holding its breath.
Something bigger than a wolf, something hungry, and you are following its tracks. Yeah, but it already ate a wolf. Why would it still be hungry? I mean, if it already ate a wolf, why would it still be hungry? Think about it. Or don't. Let me. I am very wise in the ways of science. There we go. I'll be honest, I'm very shocked over the lack of spelling mistakes I'm doing.
Ribs, your voice echoing slightly in the clearing. The rust-red light of the blood moon.
I know there's one there, but still.
Bone of the wolf carcass,
I'm just saying I
turning the
expected
frozen
more.
blood black.
I mean, if it already ate a wolf, why would it still be hungry? Think about it. Or don't. Let me. I am very wise in the ways of science.
Science? You speak of spirits and hunger as if they were numbers on a tally stick. A beast that eats a wolf does not stop because its belly is full. It eats because it is a curse.
Ah, the wisdom of the chosen. Perhaps the wolf was merely an appetizer, a crisp leaf of lettuce before the feast. Do you feel like the main course? If anything, I would be the course.
Carcass, using the tip of her axe to prod at the torn fur. She grimaces, wiping the blade on the snow.
These wounds, see here? The ribs weren't bitten. They were pulled apart by hands. Claws that can grip like a man.
A heavy snap echoes from the dense spruce to the east.
I could do that as well,
like
probably. That's what I would say.
Breaking under a weight that should not be in the trees. The silence that follows is worse than the noise.
The science of hunger is simple. It wants, it takes. And it is closer than you think.
I will hunt this. I am immensely Powerful. I don't know how to spell immensely. I know I don't have to. There we go. Coffin, how you doing?
You raise your axe, the dead man's face mask grinning blindly into the dark. The rust-red light of the blood moon bleeds through the canopy, casting long, distorted shadows. The snapping sound comes again, closer, followed by a low, wet snort that smells of spoiled meat and old blood.
Hunted. The hunter becomes the hunted. A classic ending.
A shape detaches itself from the dense spruce to the east. It stands on two legs, hunched and massive, easily taller than any man. Fur matted with blood and ice clings to a distorted, elongated frame. The head is a ruin of wolf and man, a muzzle full of yellowed teeth snapping in the cold air. It ignores you for the moment, its eyes fixed on the living heat standing beside you.
Freya, protect me!
My name isn't Freya.
The beast moves with terrifying speed, a blur of muscle and fur. It crashes into Inga before she can bring her axe to bear. She flies backward, slamming into a tree trunk with a sickening crack.
Yeah, Coffin is just seeing the last bits as well. He doesn't know about the corpse igloo.
Hitting her to the bark.
All the ice we ate.
Kill it!
Inga swings her axe desperately, the blade biting deep into the creature's arm. Black blood sprays, hissing in the snow. The beast barely flinches. It roars, a sound that vibrates in your chest and backhands her across the face. She crumples, her axe spinning away into the underbrush. The beast turns its head slowly, the wolf eyes locking onto you. It sniffs the air, tasting your fear.
It knows you. It remembers. Now you see what wears the skin.
The beast steps over Inga's broken form, its massive claws tearing gouges in the frozen earth. It lowers its head, muscles coiling, and lets out a roar that shakes the needles from the trees. It charges.
Quickly check for weak points. Try to dodge the attack. Counterattack at the right moment. Yell. The most handsome man in the lands. Oh, I could have done that. Mefir, welcome to the channel. Yeah, I could have done that actually. Just, I didn't think about that.
The beast is a wall of muscle and fur hurtling toward you. You scream your title, the sound raw and desperate in the cold air. Your eyes dart over the creature's heaving form, searching for a gap in the armor of matted hair and scar tissue.
The most handsome man in the lands!
You pivot, your boots slipping on the icy pine needles as the beast's claws swipe through the space you occupied a heartbeat before. The wind of its passage stinks of carrion. You see an opening, a patch of exposed flank where the fur is thinner, scarred by old burns. You raise your axe, aiming to bury the blade in that vulnerable spot as the beast overshoots.
Success. The most handsome. Imagine the werewolf. Then Inga wakes up. It's just the man wearing a human face mask. It's like, are you okay? It's just over the body of a werewolf.
Rax bites deep into the beast's flank, sinking through the thin fur and into the muscle.
We have to win because of the bits.
Black blood wells up, hot and steaming in the cold air. The creature staggers, a guttural snarl tearing from its throat as it spins to face you.
Moves out, yes.
But before you can strike again, the wound begins to knit. Flesh ripples and bubbles, the skin sealing over the gash as if it had never been cut. In seconds, only unbroken scar tissue remains.
Iron and wood. You tickled it, Chosen. It barely remembers the pain.
The beast shakes itself, its massive head swinging back towards you. The yellow eyes burn with a new intelligence, recognizing you as the threat. It ignores Inga's broken form, crumpled at the base of the tree. It crouches, muscles bunching under the matted fur, and prepares to spring. The distance between you is vanishing.
Odd run.
Inga's voice is a broken whisper. She tries to push herself up, but her arm gives way, and she collapses back into the snow. Her axe lies buried somewhere in the dark underbrush, out of reach. The beast's lips curl back, revealing rows of yellowed fangs dripping with saliva. It roars, a sound that shakes the snow from the branches above, and charges.
Got check for weakness, weak points. Do I have on me? Can throw some roasted crabs. The werewolf? Yeah, maybe it's silver. What's it called? Silver bracelets? Silver arm ring. Yeah, maybe. I was thinking something like that as well. Then I was like, oh, maybe we'll check if silver works in the glossary, but like it says no, it doesn't have anything.
You twist aside as the beast's massive claws scythe through the air.
Weird enough, the high point of this entire adventure was the corpse igloo.
The creature's momentum carries it past, its shoulders slamming into the spruce trunk with enough force to shake the canopy. Snow showers down upon you both.
A dance of death. Try not to step on your own feet.
You rip the silver arm ring from your pouch, the metal biting into your palm. As the beast spins to face you, snarling, you LG forward.
LG.
You don't have a blade of silver, but you have the ring itself, hammering it against the creature's matted fur, driving the cold metal into the flesh beneath.
Burn, monster!
The silver connects with a sickening crunch. The beast shrieks, a sound like tearing metal, and staggers back. Where the silver touched, the flesh does not knit. The wound smokes,
But
black and
Papa's gonna get a werewolf
permanent
cloak
mark
soon.
on the creature's healing flesh.
He's the handsomest man in the land. Always. Cold iron is nothing but silver. Silver bites.
The beast recovers quickly, its eyes narrowing from pain to pure, focused hatred. It realizes you have something that hurts it. It crouches lower, spreading its arms wide to block your escape, and prepares to charge again.
Add success. Reroll. Great success. I shouldn't have used so many story points, I guess, to make the human skin cloak.
You lunge forward as the beast springs, driving the silver arm ring into its chest with all your strength. The metal punches through the matted fur and into the muscle beneath, sinking deep. The beast shrieks, a sound of tearing metal in pure agony, and crashes backward into the snow. Where the silver bites, the flesh blackens and smokes, bubbling like fat in a fire. The wound does not knit. It remains open, weeping black blood that steams in the cold air.
The only time I used story points was for human skin cloak.
It
To fight a
remembers pain
werewolf.
But it also remembers who caused it.
The beast thrashes in the snow, its claws gouging deep furrows in the frozen earth. It scrambles back to its feet, its chest heaving. The yellow eyes fix on you with a terrifying new intelligence. It knows the silver hurts. It knows you hold it. It circles warily, staying just outside your reach, snarling low in its throat. Inga lies motionless at the base of the tree.
It is learning, Chosen. The next charge will not be so blind. Do you have another trick, or just the one ring?
The beast's lips curl back, exposing yellowed fangs.
Sorry, but how you doing? Yes, this has been the most unhinged stream for a very long time.
But far from dead. The blood moon casts long, bloody shadows across the clearing as it prepares to strike again.
Dodge the attack. Check for weak points. And this is with the silver and axe again and again. As much as you can. Yell at it again. I am the most handsome man in the lands. Ram, how you doing? Become invisible. It would be kind of cool though if you could just trick it into becoming the Hulk.
You weave aside as the beast's claws slash through the air, the wind of their passage ruffling your human skin cloak. The creature's momentum carries it into the snow, giving you a split second to act. You grip the silver arm ring in your left hand and your axe in your right, screaming your defiance.
I am the most handsome man in the lands.
You bring the silver down on the beast's shoulder.
This is the most unhinged man in any adventure ever.
Black smoke hisses from the wound, and the creature howls, thrashing in the snow. Before it can recover, you swing your axe, bury it
AI, yeah.
in its flank. But even
Storytelling is also all AI, which is we made a human face mask, human skin cloak, and a corpse igloo to sleep in.
A handsome corpse is still a corpse, but the silver, this silver, it fears.
The beast scrambles up, its yellow eyes burning with focused rage. It ignores the silver burning in its shoulder.
Kicked out the igloo. Yeah, I was not.
It crouches low, muscles coiling.
My future wifey.
Inga lies motionless behind it, her fate uncertain.
No once. Yes. Massive success.
The beast springs, a blur of rage and muscle, but you are no longer there. You pivot with impossible speed.
Within the same time.
Skin
Because I
cloak
slept,
swirling
but I
like
had to
a
run.
ghost, and the creature's massive claws slice only empty air.
Its momentum carries it past, stumbling in the snow, exposing the smoking burn where the silver bit deep into its shoulder.
Look at it. The hunter trips on its own hunger.
You see the opening, not just flesh, but the moment. As the beast flails to recover, you step inside its guard. You are a blur of violence, the axe flashing in the rust red light.
Most handsome man in the land
Drive the
is
silver
a
arm
blur
ring
of
into the
violence.
smoking wound again, twisting it, tearing the flesh wider.
The beast shrieks, a sound that cracks the ice on the nearby trees and collapses to one knee. Black blood sprays, coating your cloak and mask. The creature thrashes, its claws gouging the earth, but you are already gone, dancing back out of reach. It tries to rise, but the silver wound in its chest and shoulder burns with a fire that will not heal. It snarls at you, but the rage is tinged with something new fear. Inga stirs at the base of the tree, groaning as she pushes herself up. She sees the beast kneeling in the snow, sees you standing over it like a dark god, and her eyes widen.
Odd. You're hurting it. You're actually hurting it.
The beast roars, a sound of defiance rather than triumph, and pushes itself upright. It is wounded, bleeding black smoke, but it is not finished. It backs away, putting distance between itself and the silver, its yellow eyes never leaving yours. The clearing is silent, except for the creature's ragged breathing.
Circless. Look for weakness and you find one. Launch at it with a silver. Finish it off. Yeah, the most handsome man in the lands, and possibly the most powerful one. Witness me, future wifey. Haha, oops. Never mind.
You circle the beast, your boots crunching softly on the snow. The creature turns with you, its yellow eyes tracking your
Remember,
every
it's a
move.
man wearing the
silver
face
burns
of
in its
another
shoulder and
man
chest, black smoke curling into the cold air.
with a human skin
Snarls,
cloak.
a low wet sound of warning, but it does not charge. It is learning caution.
The most handsome man in the lands, and possibly the most powerful one. Witness me, future wifey. Oops, never mind.
I am going to kill you myself if we survive this.
A proposal in the face of death. How romantic. She seems unmoved.
The beast hesitates, confused by your erratic behavior. You see the opening, the exposed muscle of its chest, where the silver has
It was
already
like,
done
what
its
the
work.
fuck?
You grip the arm ring, your knuckles white, and lunge.
Come on. Yes. Dude, you have to go back and watch the VODs. VOD. I don't tell this to people a lot, but like you should 100% watch the VOD for this one.
You drive the silver arm ring into the beast's chest with all the strength left in your burning muscles. The metal punches through the scarred hide and sinks deep into the black heart beneath. The beast's eyes go wide, the yellow light flickering and dying like a candle in a storm. It tries to howl, but only a wet, gurgling sound escapes its throat. Black smoke pours from the wound, thick and acrid, smelling of burned meat and ancient rot. The massive shudders once, violently, and then collapses.
Yeah, I will, guys.
Shakes the ground, knocking snow from the branches above.
Daddy, how you doing?
It lies still, the rust-red light of the blood moon reflecting dully in its dead eyes.
Dead. Just like that. Fenrir's child, felled by a trinket.
You stand over the corpse, chest heaving, steam rising from your body. The silver arm ring is buried deep in the beast's chest, the metal glowing faintly in the cold air. The forest is silent, the oppressive weight of the hunt lifting. Inga pushes herself up from the base of the tree, leaning heavily against the bark. She stares at the dead beast, then at you, her expression unreadable.
You killed it! By Freya? You actually killed it.
I told you, milady. The most handsome man in the land.
Don't push it. But, thank you.
Told you. I kill a werewolf, lady.
Beside the massive corpse, the rust-red light of the blood moon gleaming on the black blood that pools in the snow. The silver arm ring is buried deep in its chest, but you leave it there for now. Your CX knife is in your hand, and you set to work.
This is still technically skinning a woman, a human. It's literally not even the first time this stream we do that.
Cut, the blade grating against bone and muscle. The smell is overpowering. Mix of wet dog, spoiled meat, and the copper tang of blood. Steam rises from the carcass as you peel the pelt away, a heavy sodden weight that drags across the snow.
You're wearing it? It's still warm!
Inga watches from the base of the tree, her face pale. She grips her axe tightly, though the fight is gone from her stance. You drape the massive wolf pelt over your shoulders, the human skin cloak still underneath. The beast's head, with its dead yellow eyes and exposed fangs, hangs heavy against your chest.
A layered look. Dead man underneath, dead wolf on top. Very practical. The cold won't know which one to bite first.
Let me remove the last one.
Lady. Not even the dead ones.
You are mad. But you killed it! That counts for something!
The forest is silent, save for the dripping of blood onto the snow.
Stand it up.
The beast is dead, but the night is far from over. The cold bites at your exposed skin, and the weight of the two cloaks drags at your shoulders.
Added werewolf fur cloak. Would you like a warm cloak, milady?
Inga stares at the heavy, blood-matted pelt you offer, then at the dead yellow eyes of the wolf head hanging against your chest. She takes a sharp step back, her grip tightening on her axe until her knuckles turn white.
See your fates. I think we're getting friend zone. Yeah, she's not really warming up to the corpse igloo either.
I'd rather freeze than wear a murderer's skin.
You let the offer drop, the heavy fur settling over your shoulders. The rust-red light of the blood moon casts long, bloody shadows over the clearing. The beast lies still at your feet, a mountain of dead flesh and black blood.
For the first time since you woke on this frozen shore, the forest is truly silent. No howls, no growls. Only the wind in the branches and the steam rising from the cooling corpse.
It's done. Fenrir's child is dead.
Hugin hops onto the beast's still chest, his obsidian eyes fixed on you. His voice is different now, stripped of the sarcasm, the mockery, the dry wit. There is only a hollow kind of awe.
I didn't think you could do it. I didn't think anyone could.
You know what comes now?
A single wing beat cuts the air. From the direction of the frozen passage, a second raven descends.
I was like, you know what comes now? Yes, now I take the
its feathers
fingers and
absorbing the light
toes.
rather than reflecting it. It lands beside
Obviously,
Hugin on the beast's
that's what it's
carcass.
all led up to.
Monin, memory.
You killed it.
Munin's voice is deep, resonant, carrying the weight of ages. He does not speak as one waiting, but as one who has witnessed something that reshapes the world.
In all the ages of Odin's trials, very few mortals have chosen to fight rather than flee. The Allfather did not expect this.
Neither did I.
I watched them hunted. Hunted? The child of Fenrir?
Hugin turns to Munin, his voice rising with something like reverence.
They found the silver. They found the fire. They read the signs. They never found the fire, honestly. I thought fire could also work, but it was too late. And when the moment came, when it came close enough to feel its breath, to smell the wolf blood, it didn't flinch.
Munin
Odin
turns his gaze to you.
Find this very
The air
interesting.
between you ripples, and the dam in your mind shatters. Memories flood back. Not just the raid, not just the faces of your dead shield brothers, but everything. The smell of your hall's hearth, the sound of your name spoken by a lover, the weight of a silver arm ring given for a deed done.
You showed mercy in Northumbria, pulled a child from fire. A raven saw. Odin took your memory to ask if that mercy was real. But you gave him a different answer than he expected.
The memory surfaces vivid you in the burning village of Northumbria. The screams of the dying, a child trapped in a timber frame. You didn't raid, you saved.
Mercy to the innocent, death to the monster. You didn't choose one. You chose both. That is rare, even among Odin's chosen.
This raven is a little bit... I watched mortals die at Fenrir's children's claws. Dozens. Hundreds. I've never watched one win. Go home, Odd. Remember who you are and what you're capable of.
The wolves will hear about this.
Munin takes flight first, vanishing into the rust-red sky. Hugin lingers for a heartbeat, his obsidian eyes fixed on yours one last time. Then he is gone, leaving only the wind and the dead. You stand alone in the clearing, the weight of the wolf pelt and the human skin cloak heavy on your shoulders. The silver armoring is buried in the beast's heart, a permanent monument to the impossible. Inga watches you, her expression a mix of fear and something that might be respect. The curse is broken. The island is safe. You remember everything. The trial is over. You are Awed, Raider of Northumbria, Slayer of Fenrir's child, and you are going home.
Stepping into Odin's trial, this Daemon Slice saga. Your thread continues, but you reach the end. What we're prepared for the showcase. What happens next? Wishlist Omea on Steam to stay in touch. Yeah, that was really awesome. Honestly, that was way better than I would have expected. That was like literally one of the most fun things I've done on stream this year. So then there are other things as well. So here are the other stores and stuff. That's really, really, really cool. Definitely go and wishlist this. Wishlist. It's the library. Let's see here. Where's the real one then? Add to wishlist. There we go. Very cool. That was really, really cool. I like that a ton. So definitely go click that one. Check it out. Up to 500 million. Crow flying with a baby bird in its claw with 2 bluebirds chasing it. Oh, I had to Google. Oh, that's super strange. Yeah. Thanks to devs for sponsoring that part of the stream. I had read it wrong a little bit when they won it. That's why we did a really late stream, because they won it between 9 and 9, like at nighttime for me. So that was a super plan. But you know what? This turned out pretty well. I mean, I don't know actually if it did. But anyway, that was really unhinged. Yeah, it was really good. Incredibly so. I personally laughed so much I was crying when we made the corpse igloo and ate their eyes. That was so good. Yeah. Thank you all for participating in this experience. And yeah, as you can see, there is a lot of freedom in this. I've said this before. AI has a couple of uses in video games, and one of them should be narrative and this basically is talking to the world around you. That's great, really, really cool. Wait, what's this? What can happen here? Oh, if you don't spend like most of the day on the beach making a corpse igloo, you can actually go out and you can hunt stuff, maybe. No, you can hunt it in the daylights. Yeah, we did it at nighttime. So we've seen the 104 Necron CGI trailer. We have Norse. I mean, have you really lived if you haven't made a corpse igloo? Yeah, corpse igloo, eating all of the eyes, all of the dudes. Yeah, it was really, really good. Hope everybody had a good time. I certainly had a very good time. We did go over time a little bit here. So, yeah. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for watching. I'll see your cute face tomorrow because I'm live in like, I don't know, a couple of hours again, I guess. So, kisses and hugs. Bye-bye.